That spice was spicing Miss Danae. Hey boo, welcome back to my channel. And we're losing light, but we're gonna get into it. It is February the 5th, and I want to talk about the books that I read in January. Now, there may be some people in the background, but don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Just focus on what I'm talking about. I'm talking about these books that I read in January, and I read quite a few. The first book that I want to discuss is my 5-star read for the month, Spin About You by Miss Briann Danae. Yes. Love this book. This was a novella, and it came out, I feel like it came out a long time ago. Well, not too long ago. It came out last year, and this was just like the perfect novella. It's actually under 100 pages. It's actually 56 pages. So very doable for you guys, baby readers. It's a Thanksgiving novella. So missed the opportunity to get into it during the holidays, but I'm so glad that I did touch on it, because I will make sure that I get to her again during the Thanksgiving holiday, because this book gave you all the holiday feels. It gave you that romance. It gave you that spice. That spice was spicing Miss Danae. And I just really enjoyed it. It was my favorite read of the month. It was a 5-star read for me, and I'm happy I read it. The next book that I read that's actually the last book that I read. So I also got into Good Inside, a guide to becoming the parent you want to be. Now this is by Dr. Becky Kennedy, and it's a nonfiction parenting self-help type book. And that's what the month's supposed to be about. January was supposed to be about the nonfiction reads. It's supposed to be about self-help, self-development, all those things. But girl, I couldn't reserve any of those books, and I wasn't buying them books. I couldn't get the books on Libby. I couldn't get them from my library. Didn't have enough Audible credits to get it done in January. So those books are going to carry over to some other time, because I couldn't get to it. I should have been more, I should have requested those books or start to get them back in December, but I did not. And that's on me. But this book, I enjoyed it. I will say that I have older teenagers, and I do think this book would be more suited for y'all new parents. Okay, I'm talking the 1s, the 2s, on up until about 10ish. I think this book would be perfect for, because I gave this book 4 stars. The next book that I got into in January was, Dear Vicky. Now this was like one of those little books that I think I was traveling. I was taking a road trip or something. I was like, I just want something just to take me down the road. This book took me on down the road. Dear Vicky, people are crazy out here. I gave this book 3 stars just for the crazy, insane plot of this book. You got my boy, Andrew, working at a grocery store, and girl, she just comes through his line, and she says his name because it's on his shirt, She just like, compliments him in the slightest way. When I say the slightest way. He took that and he was gone. He went all the way to the deep end with his obsession with this young lady. She has a husband and kids, and he just really, it's kind of scary actually. But this too was a novella, under 100 pages. You could definitely get it done if you're into like the thrillers. It's quite a thriller, Miss Octavia Grant. Yeah, I should have known though. That on the cover, if you see it has the blood splatters and things like that. But to me, it didn't click. I was just like, oh, this is a little short book. I can get down the road with this. Okay, let's go. The next book that I read in January is Make Money Move, A Guide to Financial Wellness. This book is by Lauren Simmons, and I wasn't here for it. I don't know. I felt like this book would be more geared towards, I felt like she was more in the self-help versus the financial piece. I do not listen to this young lady's podcast. She does have a podcast, so you guys can check that out. Or maybe you do listen to the podcast and you would resonate more with this book because you have some reference points. But no, it was a no for me. It was a no. Gave this book 3 stars. I think it would be a great graduation present for young ladies graduating. Okay. So we're going to have to hurry up because I'm running out of space. The next book that I read in January is Step Daddy Season 2. You heard me. Step Daddy Season 2. I read Step Daddy Season last month, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. The book has ties to Charlotte, which I always enjoy a book that speaks to the local area where I am based out of. And so Step Daddy Season 2, this young man, he's playing for the Carolina Panthers, which is in Charlotte, North Carolina. But although I enjoyed the book, it was like a continuation from the first book, of course. I still gave it 3 stars. I felt like, it was a novella, so it was a quick, short read. But I don't know, it just didn't hit. It didn't hit like that first book. That first book was, This is taken on from the son. So it goes from the daddy being a stepdaddy to the son being a stepdaddy. Of course, many, 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 many years later. The next book that I read in January is The Last Applicant by Rebecca Hanover. And so this was a book club read by my virtual book club, BBD. And I enjoyed the book. I enjoyed it. It was a thriller. It had some twists and turns, some things I wasn't expecting. The characters, they just went in a whole total different direction. So here we have main character Sarah. So Sarah, she's a mom and she's trying to get her kindergartner into this preschool. And she's doing what it takes. She's crossing the list. She's checking the boxes and trying to make a good impression with this admissions officer who is Audrey Singer. Audrey Singer, she's just trying to work. But she has a tough job with screening applicants that are trying to get into this top preschool. And, we uncover some secrets about Miss Audrey and her family. And, it just is not what I thought it was going to be. I enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars, actually. But the book club girlies, and apparently the folks over here on Goodreads, not so much. They didn't like this book. But I think you should check it out. It was an okay read. It was on the longer side, baby reader. So we at 305 pages, but definitely not too bad. So the last book I read, it was a good one. Rest is Resistance by Miss Tricia Hersey. So this book I have been hearing about for a while. I follow the Nap Ministry. I'm sure you guys do too. Just their quotes and, you know, just thinking about napping. That's what I thought it was going to be about. How we can nap more. How can we get it in? And, you know, some tips to falling asleep. Because if you guys are like me, always trying to find different things that can help me go not only fall asleep but stay asleep for a long time, as far as like into the when I have to get up. But this is not what this was. This is my first manifesto. So it's Rest is Resistance, a manifesto. And I was moved. I don't understand though why it's called Rest is Resistance. So I think that the book should be called Rest is Necessary. Or no. Rest is necessary but not a reward. Or rest is not a reward. Because that's the one thing that stuck out and resonated with me about the book, is she was trying to say that we shouldn't use rest or sleeping or relaxing as a reward for doing all these different tasks. We should be resting all in between all of those things. And I'm here for that. Sign me up. She even went as far as to talk about how she has these nap retreats where everybody gathers in this large room, and I guess she creates the type of environment where you can sleep. Now, I don't know about that, Tricia. I don't know if I could sleep with a room full of people, a room full of strangers at that. But that's what she was doing, child, in New York City. I think that this is a good book to own so that you can go through, annotate it, and kind of highlight through and make notes and revisit it. Revisit it often is what she encourages. So I'm here for Rest is Resistance, a manifesto, and I think you guys should read that one too. All right. If you've made it this far in this video, don't forget to like this video. Okay, don't forget to comment to this video, and don't forget to share this content with another fellow baby reader. And until next time, bye.